Snow was falling hard that evening. Thick flakes danced in the headlights as Walter pulled his flannel tighter around his shoulders and tossed another log into the wood-burning stove. Outside, the temperature had dropped below 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside, the silence was heavy, just like it had been for the past 3 years. Walter had moved to the edge of Pine Hollow, a small town in Minnesota, after losing his wife and daughter in a car accident. He didn't talk much to neighbors. He didn't celebrate holidays. The world had become too loud, too cruel. Out here, in his old cabin 2 miles from the main road, no one asked questions. And that was just the way he liked it. But that night, something broke the silence. A faint, almost imperceptible whimper, carried on the wind like a memory. He ignored it at first. Could have been a fox, maybe even the wind messing with his head. But it came again, louder, closer. Sighing, he grabbed his flashlight, pulled on his boots, and opened the creaky front door. There, curled up at the base of his porch steps, was a dog. Skinny, shivering, its matted fur caked with ice. One of its front paws was bleeding. It couldn't have weighed more than 30 pounds. Walter stared at it for a long time. Something in him wanted to turn away. But another part, a quiet part he hadn't listened to in years, told him not to. He bent down and whispered, "Come on, little one. Let's get you warm." He named her Scout. At first, Walter didn't want to keep her. He told himself he'd just clean her up, feed her for a few days, and then call animal control. But days turned into weeks, and Scout, with her warm eyes and quiet presence, filled the empty spaces in his home without making a sound. She never barked, never begged. She just was. And somehow, that was enough. One morning, Scout nudged open the door to his workshop, where his daughter's old drawings still hung on the wall. She lay beside them for hours. That night, Walter cried for the first time in years. Spring came late that year. By April, the snow had melted, and Walter found himself walking Scout through the woods every morning, something he hadn't done since the army. They passed by neighbors on the trails. People he hadn't spoken to in years began to wave. A little girl named Lily, who lived down the hill with her single mom, always ran out to greet Scout with a giggle and a treat in her palm. "Your dog's a hero," she said once, hugging Scout tight. Walter just smiled. "She saved me, kiddo, not the other way around." Then came the fire. It started 6 miles away, sparked by a lightning strike in the forest. Dry brush, high winds, a dangerous mix. By the time the alarms sounded, Walter and Scout were already deep in the woods. He didn't hear the sirens, but Scout did. She froze, ears perked, then took off running, barking for the first time since he'd found her. She led him to Lily and her mom, who had gotten lost trying to evacuate. Scout guided them all back to the road, smoke thick behind them. By nightfall, the fire was contained. No lives were lost. A month later, Walter sat on his porch, Scout's head resting on his foot. He wrote a letter to a local animal rescue organization, sharing the story of a little dog who saved a broken man's life. Sometimes, he wrote, "We think we're rescuing them, but really they're the ones pulling us out of the fire." You have a kind heart and a beautiful love for animals. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help spread kindness. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a touching story about rescuing these precious lives. See you in the next episode.